Hi Chargers, why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé. You made it to the playoffs. Congrats. If you want more players that can catch the ball, I have one right here. We live really close to your facilities, so you don't even have to buy him a ticket. That's saving you tens of dollars, which creates more cap space. You're welcome. I also have a lot of blue and gold outfits from when we went to Cal, so it's perfect for me too. Don't worry. His hand span is 10 1/8 inch. I've been told that information is pertinent somehow, and if you act now, you can get a 2-in-1 deal. I don't have any discernible skills, but at that point, that's not my problem. However, if you don't find this video whimsical, you probably don't want us. And that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé's perspective. Hi Browns, this is why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé. He's really good at keeping secrets. How good is he? So good that his middle name is Chad and his first name is Timothy. See? Bet you didn't know that. He definitely won't leak your plays. Chad used to play with your quarterback, and we know how that turned out. Touchdown! I know that you're not in the playoffs. Sorry, but I know that you're probably thinking of ways that you can be better next year. I'm a pretty good baker, so when you guys win with Chad on your team, you guessed it, you're gonna find some cookies with your name on them in the locker room the next day. In case you're worried that I'll be lonely when I move, don't worry, I have one friend on the team. You know who you are. And if you don't like him, you can send him back. Shipping costs not included. And that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé's perspective. Hi 49ers, why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé. You can bring us back to our old stomping ground. If you didn't already know, we both went to Cal. He played football, and I played football. I peaked, but he just kept getting gooder and gooder. That's probably why he got drafted. Anyway, he knows all the good places around there, so he can help your rookies out. That will save you time, so you can think about ways to beat teams. Chad can also help with that too. You're asking how? Well, he has that natural ability to make a play his own. That's why he was open so much when he was on the field. He also does this thing where he makes catching the ball harder than it has to be. See? He almost lets it go out of reach, and then he snatches it back. He's playing on hard when everyone else is playing on beginner. Think about that. And a final point, we actually got engaged on the Berkeley campus last year, so that place already holds a special place in our hearts. Think how much more special it would be if he went there and helped you win your division. And that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé. Hi Lions, why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé. I know we were there in 2021, but you didn't even give him a chance to be great. Let's start your new year right and rectify past mistakes. He had 11 reps on the bench press at the combine. Wow, which is equivalent to 2 DBs, so he'll be able to push them aside. No problem. We got to take a picture at your facility. That was cool. But think about how cool it would be for me to take one on the field. You guys are known for being the underlions, and Chad's an underlion himself, so you're already on the same page. When he was with the Texans in 2020, he got his first catch, and when he went up for the ball, his tushy hit his opponent, knocking him down to the ground for about a minute. He doesn't mess around with that cake. My hair matches your mascot. That's self-explanatory. And that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé's perspective. Hey Jets, why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé. Well, 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 we have come to you. I have a lot of questions. Number one, how dare you? We were in for quite a surprise in 2018. Let me tell you a story. I was on vacation with my family, and Chad was in training camp. Look up some articles. He was absolutely killing it. He called me on vacation to tell me the news. He was halfway to picking up our cat, and he was told to turn back to stay close to the facility on his off day. All of us in the league know that's not a good thing. And that began this chaotic journey that we've been on. Let me show you what we've been missing since then. He won the Bill Hampton Award his rookie year. That's given to the rookie who acts like a pro in the locker room, and they put a big cutout of him on the wall. I wonder if it's still there. Some people point to the fact that he had 9 catches for 94 yards as a reason for why he was released. And I have a question for those people. How are you supposed to catch a ball that isn't thrown to you? Watch the film, people. And that's why you made a mistake in releasing Chad Hansen. From an unbiased fiancé's perspective. Hi, Panthers. Why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé. He's really good at catching the ball. See? More highlights upon request. He's tall so he can catch the ball over people. Would you look at that height difference? You're picking up a football player, but you're also picking up a model, an actor, a spokesperson. I've trained him really well. Look at that commitment. Your colors are perfect for my game day outfits, so thank you in advance. He's a really quick learner. For example, after we got engaged, he learned that I was a psycho real quick. And that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé's perspective. Hi, Bengals. Why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé. Chad will be turning heads like a certain someone because I dress him whenever we go out so he doesn't embarrass me. See? He has great little grippers, clickety-clacks, or also known as toes. They're truly as long as my fingers. But those weird-looking raptor toes are what makes him so springy. They're like extra little legs. He's learned a variety of different playbooks, so he knows how to make his own plays. I already have a special one in mind, just for you guys. I call it the Bengal angle. TM. If you pick us up, I'll let you know what it entails. Flying out to a team on only hours' notice. I'll make sure that he doesn't forget anything so he can focus solely on football. I know he looks really nice in common photos, but when he gets on the field, he's an animal. One might even call him a jungle cat. And that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé's perspective. Hi, Saints. Why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé. Chad and I raced up the stairs one time when I was still an athlete, and I just barely beat him. Think about how fast that makes him. I see that your team allows people on the field after the game. That's pretty cool. I've never gotten to do that. I'm already practicing my poses. He already made some catches at your stadium, so you know he can handle the pressure of the Thunderdome. Who dat? Chad dat. I know your city is known for getting down, and I'm a pretty good dancer, so that Jumbotron is mine. If you look back at his film from the first year he was in the league, you'll see that he was open almost every play. I'll wait. Is it because he's really fast, or he just runs really good routes? I can speak to that. Both. It's really risky that I'm giving you my sales pitch, because when I sold phones in a Target, I was absolutely terrible. How am I doing now? Are you sold? And that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé's perspective. Hi, Broncos. Why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé. My family grew up Broncos fans because of my dad. Don't you want to make an old man's dreams come true? Don't worry, he won't know I called him old. He doesn't watch my videos. Very supportive. He'll come out of the gate that bucking mare you've been looking for. We were actually on your team for a little bit, but you never got to see Chad shine like a diamond out on the field. After we were released, we drove 16 hours back to California. That's a lot of gas. I can make you a deal. $3 on the gallon. It's only fair. We know your motto is the Mile High Club, and we'd like to join you in getting. I'm being told now that you're the Mile High City, and being in the club is way different than being in the city. Because everybody in the club getting tipsy. He really likes running up hills for some reason. And you're a mile high, so he can make it there no problemo. And that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen. From an unbiased fiance's perspective. Hi, Chiefs. Why you should pick up Chad Hansen. From an unbiased fiance. We like that you guys win games. And that hasn't always been the case for us. And I want to feel what it's like to be a winner. Whoa, look at that. He takes his warm-ups really seriously. When he steps onto the practice field, you better believe he's ready to go. He sometimes brings that energy to our board game nights, and I'd like to redirect that energy away from me. Thanks. His touchdown celebration when he was with the Texans was not approved by me. If you just hear me out, I can make his celebrations great. He did the horns down celebration when he played the University of Texas. Because of that, I wanted him to do the horns up celebration when he was with the Texans. Because of course, because it's Texas. Get it? Well, he didn't listen. But don't hold it against him. This is the type of quality touchdown celebrations you'll be getting. And that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen. From an unbiased fiance. Hi, Jaguars. Why you should pick up Chad Hansen. From an unbiased fiance. It's really hot there in the summer, and we're two sweaty people. But for you, we could look past that. Whenever he gets an iPad from a team, he uses that thing to study all the time. Except for when I'm using it for my own needs, because my iPad is old and doesn't take that good of photos. See how good that quality is? We know you have Saxonville for your defense, but with Chad, you can have that guy catches everythingville for your offense. Or Rexonville, because he's gonna wreak some havoc out there. Or Tracksonville, because Chad played football and ran track in college. He actually made the conference finals in the 100-meter dash and the long jump. So he can, and fact check me, I dare you. That man's got some wheels. If you'd like to give him construction criticism when he's on your team, just let me know too, so I can withhold dessert from him that night. And that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen. From an unbiased fiance's perspective. Hi, Texans. Hi, Packers. Why you should pick up Chad Hansen. From an unbiased fiance. We've never been to Green Bay, and we heard that your fans are killer, so we'd like to experience that. Thanks. It took him 2 years to get back on the field, but just look at the bottom of the screen. 101 yards in his first game back. Impressive. Guess what? It's been 2 years since that game, so we're due for another 100+ yard game. I know hurdling is becoming a big part of the game to make the other team look bad, and Chad has been jumping through hoops for me ever since we met, so he's got you covered. I know you like a man of many talents. Look, he juggles. And this is a really important point. I really like cheese, but only warm cheese. So much so that when I was younger, I would put it in my pocket until it got all warm and greasy. True story. But this isn't about me. And that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé's perspective. Hi, Giants. Why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé. First of all, and I've forgotten to mention this in all of my videos, but I'm unbiased. So if he really wasn't good, I'd let you know. He really takes care of his body. Every chance he gets, he uses his poofy legs. This is also very convenient for him, because he can say he's rehabbing while he's sitting on the couch watching TV. If you like cool nicknames, Chad's your guy. A certain someone on your team nicknamed him the llama when we were in college. Why? Oh, me? Why, yes, I do have a nickname myself. You can call me Dragon. He doesn't particularly have a large head, but he has a long head, which means that he can hold a lot of plays in there. Plays like a jet sweep or a drive concept. All of that is just bouncing around up there. And that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé's perspective. Hi, Patriots. Why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé. We heard it's been hard for you since a certain someone left, and we'd like to help you with that. Your coach is the second winningest of all time. We can make you the first. How will he do this? By juking your opponent one way and then running the fastest in the other direction for a touchdown. With your team's history of maximizing receiving talent and his ability to receive the ball into his massive hands, you're good to go. He's quick to release from the line and will help you win by more than a razor-thin margin at Jelly Stadium. We were on your team in 2018. We were driving to the game and we got hit by someone in the parking lot. So I feel like you owe us. And that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé's perspective. Hi, Cowboys. Why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé. I drove all the way from Southern California to Houston when Chad was with the Texans, so you know I can make the trek. And Dallas is way closer than Houston. Instead of driving 1,531 miles, which takes 22 hours and 8 minutes, it's only 1,419 miles, which will take me 20 hours and 7 minutes. Score! Think about the children. Why? Because he's nice to them. We understand how much you have to want it, because our experience has been no rodeo. Trust me, we want it. Not only has he been polishing his craft when it comes to football, but he's extremely versatile. He also practices yoga, bar, and meditation, so he could bring his heart rate up and then quickly back down. I'm told that's a great indicator of if you're in shape or not. I can't be sure though, because as I've stated before, I peaked in college. Let's cross off all the teams in Texas. Houston fans really liked Chad, but will you, Dallas? Will you? And that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé's perspective. Hi, Falcons. Why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé. Why? We were there last year in 2022. I drove from California to Georgia with my mom and my sister. We drove through 7 states: Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, and Alabama. The day after we arrived, we hit a deer, and my car was in the shop for months. We had to ship it back to us when we moved back to California. While I was not working, he was always working. He was always on his iPad. Even when I tried to get him to watch Ozarks with me, that guy is driven. We were there for the holidays in 2021, and you guys actually gave us a gift, which was pretty cool. We got a tin of unshelled pistachios in a can with no pull tab, so I had to shiv it open with a knife. I shelled them all and brought them back to California with us. I kept them for months, even when Chad tried to throw them out, claiming that I was gonna make pistachio butter. I did not make pistachio butter. Chad actually had a good time with everybody in the building and doesn't hold a grudge against anyone. I am not as forgiving, but he's a good person like that. All of this is basically just to say that you made a mistake and to keep an eye out for future Mr. Timothy Chad Hansen. Look, that's what you're missing out on. And that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé's perspective. Hi, Bills. Why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé. We've all seen how incredible Bills Mafia has been this past season, and that's difficult to find. There's no joke in that. That's genuine. Now back to your regularly scheduled program of why Chad is so great. His balance is insane, but not only because he can drop it low, but because his feet are a size 13. I know what you're thinking. Great for an athlete, but not good for shopping. Try buying a pair of shoes for him. Those are the struggles that I deal with daily. If you're worried about him being too cold in the winters, don't be. Why? Because he's good at it. Did I mention he's great? I'm always going out with him and filming his routes so that he can look at them and improve. So I have some extra footage to send you. You can text me on my burner to inquire further. I can have him there by Sunday. And that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé's perspective. Hi, Seahawks. Why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé. You see the transformation of him walking up to me in college to him walking over to the sidelines with the Texans? You could be the third team in that equation. He's a vet, so he can help your rookies find their sea legs. I know those rookie dinners can get a little overwhelming for the rookies. Chad will make sure they're not spooked and definitely won't let them bring out a fake check for the vet's enjoyment. He uses some machines the wrong way, but don't judge him for that. If you want him to be ready to juke out those DBs on the field, just let him do his thing. I'm a little comic relief in all that stressful chaos that goes on in the league. I will help Chad come back giggly and ready to play. And that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé's perspective. Hi, Eagles. Why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé. Fly, Chad, out fly, and he'll bring you a victory. Fly, Chad, out fly, and don't forget about me. The intensity of your fans fascinates and scares me. Please don't be mean to us if we go there. I'm very sensitive. Chad can take the heat, both literally and hypothetically. After being told no for 2 years between several teams, his first day back on the field, he killed it. On the other hand, when he tells me no, I have a hard time functioning. We actually got our cat from Philadelphia, so a little bit of Philly already lives with us. His interviewing skills are top-notch, so he's ready to talk to reporters after practice and make you look good. I grill him all day long, and he never cracks. I cannot stress this enough. These are completely unbiased opinions, so you can believe everything that's coming out of my lips. And that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiance's perspective. Hi, Dolphins. Why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé. Like Trey Songz and Dolphins, oh, I'm about to dive in. Oh, the real ones will know what I'm talking about. He's not the guy who walks out of the building and no longer has football on the brain. He's finding new ways to make his body better. Like, what is this? I don't even know. But he says that it helps. Somehow. I know that there's a bunch of different fines that players can get. Unsportsmanlike conduct, being a pound over what you're supposed to be, socks, normal stuff. But the only fine he'll be getting is for being fine. Chad really cares about the people, and as being one of those people, I value that very much. And he really likes to give his gloves to kids after games. So let him put a smile on your fans' faces, won't ya? And that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiance's perspective. Hi, Steelers. Why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiance. I used to write him scouting reports every day during the 2021 season so he could see which teams had needs in the wide receiver position. Also, wide receiver moves don't just mean they're looking for receivers. Every position is connected when roster moves are happening, so I know what to look for. I know he'll steal the hearts of your fans, like he stole mine. I film almost everything for Chad, so I can share it and show people what's up. This is the kind of quality content you'll be getting. Just imagine me taking videos like this from your sidelines. You can even add me to your media team, free of charge. What's that? You're saying that practice is canceled because of weather and or players are sick? No problem. I'm always catching him doing these weird things around the house, claiming it's for football. I'm just convinced he likes to surprise me and keep things interesting for us. Chad can take care of himself and be ready for you. What do you think? And that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiance's perspective. Hi, Bears. Why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiance. First of all, I got a lot of people telling me to send Chad's application to you. So why don't you show them some respect and donate a free Chad Hansen jersey when you pick him up? We'll talk. I'll get comments from people saying he's not a good player. Teams don't release good players. But I don't remember him ever doing poorly on film. He got to play in his last 5 games with the Texans and collectively got 17 receptions for 236 yards and a touchdown. And the offseason after that season, we were released, so he's never really had any bad film. And I'll remind you, that's after 2 years of having not played in a game. So that explanation wasn't valid then, and it isn't valid now. I went to an ice cream place in Chicago when I was younger, where they froze it right in front of you. I'm a true ice cream lover, and I'd like to go back to Chicago just for that place. I'm forgetting the name, but you know who you are. I've had friends ask me how I think of what I want to say in these things. I'm stuck with myself and my thoughts all day long, so I needed to subject somebody else to it because I'm starting to drive myself crazy. So I appreciate you all, and that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiance's perspective. Hi, Rams. Why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiance. I'm a Rams fan out of obligation because I live super close to LA, so this would be really cool for me. My mom is also an intense Rams fan, So this would be all the more reason for her to drop some dough at your shiny new stadium. That's so much more monies you'll be getting. This is how high he'll jump for joy in the end zone when he scores a touchdown. That kid has got some bounce. If you call him right now, I can make him drive up to you ASAP. But don't be shocked and dismayed when he gets there, because I'll tell you right now, he has a Ford. On that note, he's had the same truck he's had since high school, so you know he'll be frugal with all the monies that you give him. And that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé's perspective. Hi Vikings, why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé. We have a friend from college who was originally from Norway, so we know the ways of your mascot. If you're looking for the fan that will go all out, I'm your gal. I wrote "Call Me Number 6" on my belly to get Chad's attention during one of his games when we were in college. Needless to say, when his friends pointed me out in the stands, all he could do was shake his head. I promise I will bring that passion to your team. Step aside. You're gonna have a new national treasure. You guys were cutting it close this season. Chad can inject a double dose of pizzazz in your locker room. With how many touchdowns I've seen him make during training, I'm considering kicking him out of the house. There's really no point in having him here because he basically lives in the end zone. This is just for me to leave here. Ooh, and that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé's perspective. Hi Ravens, why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé. I keep old positive and negative articles written about him because when he goes back out on the field and kills it, I'll have some people to pick on. Are you with us or against us? On that same note, I keep literally every article ever written about him, and I'm prepared to add yours to the list. If you think he's just been sitting on his booty in between teams, think again. If he doesn't have a gym or a field, he'll still find a way to better himself. Whether that's taking a bike ride up a steep hill or tying a tire around his waist in a dirt field, he'll do whatever it takes. When he steps on the green, he's ravenous. And not just on the field. Whenever I make dinner, I have to make him 2 meals. Seriously, he eats 2 hamburgers. You'll be flying high after making the best decision of your life by picking up Chad. And that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé's perspective. Hi Commanders, why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé. He definitely commands attention anytime he walks into a room. You're asking how? Look at how cute he is. Last time we went to Washington, D.C., it was the dead of winter, and Chad wouldn't talk to me because of how cold he was. Help me change that bad memory in his head. He's ready for action with a capital A. Capital C-T-I-O-N. We're ready to make our country proud. Him by playing really good, and me by supporting from the sidelines. I'm sure you want an educated player, but what about his significant other? I'm the person who uses the wrong words in the wrong places, but I'll say it with such confidence that no one even indubitables what I'm saying. Wow, look at that release from the line. There's a reason they call him the Galloping Llama, and that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé's perspective. Hi Buccaneers, why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé. We know you're kind of reeling from a big announcement, but you know what can soften the blow? Picking up the best wide receiver in the league. Just because he's not a quarterback doesn't mean he can't sling the old pigskin. So if your fourth-string quarterback goes down, he can step in. But don't worry, that never happens. He almost never gets angry out there and is pretty level-headed, so he won't make emotional decisions. He's had a lot of practice at home because I'm constantly doing things that annoy him, and he's never raised his voice. Not once. Shiver me timbers, he'll have your opponents shaking in their boots. He really prioritizes stretching. He can lead those pre-game warm-ups for you, so your coaches can just sit back and relax. And that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé's perspective. Hi Cardinals, why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé. The cardinal rule is that Cardinals rule. The 7 cardinal sins are as follows. Not knowing what a cardinal bird call sounds like. Socks not being above your knees. Seriously, you get fined for that. Not knowing that St. Louis was robbed twice. Not knowing the birdie fight song. No cats. Don't be mean. And no helmet-to-helmet hits. If you don't want to win, then picking up Chad is probably not in the cards for you. I'm basically the world's worst personal trainer / physical therapist. I give him notes on things that I think he could be doing better. See, like here I'd say he needs to stop looking so devilishly cute because it's distracting to me. And I also help his body feel goodly after a long workout. And that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé's perspective. Hi Titans, why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé. Tight ends. No tight ends, not Titans. He really connects with tight ends. Is all of this tracking? Well, anyways, he really connects with tight ends and linemen. Linemen for sure. I don't know what it is about him. Maybe because they can throw him in the air like a baby? That's probably alluring to them. It's super cute. When we were moving around to a bunch of different states, Chad always found a way to keep himself ready. He found some fields close to where we lived in Nashville, so that when teams came to their senses, he would be ready to go. We really like your delicious barbecue. So much so that when Chad already went to Colorado, I went to Martin's barbecue joint by myself. I ordered the Big Papa sampler because I had to try it all. The server made me shout it over the counter to him, and I definitely got some weird looks. If you pick him up, you'll see that he's a real titan of industry. That industry being football. He's a titan of football. And that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé's perspective. Hi Raiders, why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé. The Jets versus the Raiders was actually the first game of Chad's that I went to. I was still in college at the time, so it was super close to me. I even got this really good footage from the awesome seats I had. Chad will raid the castle of your opponents and do the black hole proud. Now that I'm thinking about it, I would be a great addition to the black hole. Being the only psycho in the family section is not doing it for me. Here's a video of me holding my own with one of Chad's friends in college. I won that battle. He has that unwavering focus that you can't always find. See, I was pestering him and he never gave me a first or a second glance. That man is focused, and that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé's perspective. Hi Colts, why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé. I've really dug myself into a hole here submitting these applications. After the first one, I knew I had to submit to every team. This is my life now, and I can't let the fans of these teams down. So, as I was saying, he went to the combine at your stadium, so he already has experience catching the ball there, and I heard that makes a difference. He's very creative when it comes to his training. He actually got a tennis ball shooter so he could get his hands right, even on his off days. It's actually pretty cool, and I think that you guys should incorporate it into your training program. Just remember that you heard it here first. His touchdown was actually against your team. If you want to stop the inevitable from happening again, you should probably give us a call. He can trot, he can prance, and wow, look at that stance. He's got some giddy up in him, so he'll be able to outrun the best of them. And that's why you should pick up Chad Hansen from an unbiased fiancé's perspective.